Caloroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. Hey, good news, the TSA is letting people keep their shoes on. Should we just wrap up now and all go on vacation? I mean, what else am I going to tell you that's going to be better news than that? Most passengers have been required to remove their shoes since 2006. But at the time of this recording, some travel blogs were noticing that the TSA is no longer, this is unofficial at the time of this recording, but the TSA apparently is no longer making you take your shoes off. The change was first noticed by a travel newsletter called Gate Access. The guy who writes is a former TSA officer. He said he had seen a soft launch of the new policy at an airport, as well as an internal memo briefing officers about it. He says passengers should feel relieved knowing that technology advanced so significantly that TSA officers could detect threats while wearing shoes. In the old days, that wasn't the case. Let's hope that lasts. Some people are hoping they'll let us bring shampoo bottles and maybe leave our laptop in our bag. That would all be nice. Congratulations to a 21-year-old man. He has skateboarded from England to Africa in 55 days, 1,500 miles to Morocco. Sam said, I had my own challenges with mental health. The skate scene is very tight-knit. It's very community-driven. He raised £5,000 for a charity supporting well-being in the skateboarding community. Sam said, I had my own challenges with mental health. The skate scene is very tight-knit. It's very community-driven, so having a service like that within the community is amazing. He covered between 30 and 55 miles every day. Sam said it was definitely harder at first, but my body kind of got used to it pretty quick. I just felt like the norm because I'd wake up and I just knew I had to do it every day. Going up was definitely harder, but downwards is a saving grace because I could save all my energy going downhill. I wouldn't have to push, and it was super fun, and the adrenaline was running. He did have a tumble on one of the hills. He said his arm got scraped up. He only fell one time during the whole trip. All the money will go to charity. Personally, he needs some new wheels for a skateboard. He said, I did the one pair of wheels, and I'll say they're absolutely haggard. Good news, the University of Sydney has identified a new brain protein involved in the development of Parkinson's disease, and they figured out a way to modify it and tested this on mice, and they're pretty excited about it so far. Short version, it found that targeting the faulty SOD1 protein with a drug treatment using copper improved the motor function in mice. One of the scientists said, we hope that by treating this malfunctioning protein, we might be able to improve the Parkinson-like symptoms in the mice we were treating. But even we were astonished by the success of the intervention. All the mice we treated saw dramatic improvement in their motor skills, which is a really promising sign that it could be effective in treating people who have Parkinson's disease too. In treating people who have Parkinson's disease. Boy, that would be amazing.
What if everything you've been taught about happiness is wrong? We chase careers, approval, more stuff, hoping it'll finally make us feel fulfilled, but it never sticks. What if happiness isn't out there, but already inside you, just waiting to be unlocked? Discover the book, The Happiness Experiment. Every person has a unique happiness type, and when you understand yours, everything shifts. You'll stop chasing and start creating joy on your own terms. Discover your happiness type with a free happiness type assessment. Go to myhappinesstype.com. That's myhappinesstype.com. It takes just a minute and it might change your life. Then grab your copy of The Happiness Experiment at Books A Million. This isn't just a book, it's a practical framework, a journey inward. It's a tool to help you reconnect with the happiness that's been waiting inside you all along. Pick up The Happiness Experiment and start your happiness experiment today.
Congratulations to Maria. She has earned the Guinness World Record for her collection of over 15,000 egg cups. 15,485 to be specific. She's been collecting egg cups for over 50 years. The collection includes multiple patterns, colors, designs, even some novelty cups bearing the images of Superman, Betty Boop, and Garfield. 1,143 of her cups are currently on display at a local museum. Well, congratulations on that. And good news, it finally happened. After all those years of the joke, I've had it with these snakes on this plane. Well, in Australia, a snake on a plane has delayed a flight. Yes, I gotta love it. They had to call in Mark the Snake Hunter after a domestic flight was delayed for 2 hours after a snake was found in the plane's cargo hold. Passengers were boarding Virgin Australian flight VA337 at Melbourne, bound for Brisbane. The snake hunter tells us the snake turned out to be a harmless 2-foot green tree snake, but the snake hunter thought it could be venomous when he first approached it in the darkened cargo hold. He said, "It wasn't until I caught the snake that I realized it wasn't venomous. Until that point, it looked very dangerous to me." And that movie's no joke. The snake hunter said, "I said to them, if I don't get this in one shot, the snake's going to sneak through the panels and you're going to have to evacuate the plane," because at that stage, I didn't know what kind of snake it was. But thankfully, I got it on the first try and captured it. If I didn't get it that first time, the engineers and I would be pulling apart a Boeing 737 looking for a snake right now. The snake hunter said it took him 30 minutes to drive to the airport, and then he was delayed by security. In all, the flight was delayed 2 hours. And that was your 5 good news stories for today. This show is so much fun to do. Thank you for listening. If you would like it without commercial interruption or feed drops or other stuff, go to caloroga.com/plus, or if you're on Apple Podcasts, click that banner that says Uninterrupted Listening, and you have an awesome day.
Feuds, Power, Pride, and Payback. A new podcast from Caloroga Shark Media takes you inside the most explosive rivalries that shaped our world. From Hollywood's bloodiest breakups to political wars that toppled empires, Marvel versus DC, Trump versus Musk, the royal family's nuclear meltdown, Brangelina's 8-year courtroom carnage. These aren't just celebrity spats. They're billion-dollar battles that redefined entertainment, politics, and culture forever. Host Marcus Reed reveals the secrets, betrayals, and revenge plots that turned allies into enemies and love into warfare. When titans collide, everyone gets hurt. When pride meets payback, nobody wins. Feuds, Power, Pride, and Payback. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Alligator Alcatraz, a new podcast from Caloroga Shark Media. They built a detention center in the Florida Everglades to separate families and break spirits. Surrounded it with alligators, figured that'd be the end of it. What they didn't count on was Tommy Esperanza, a quiet maintenance worker who turned their bureaucratic nightmare into something extraordinary. While corrupt politicians profited from human suffering and incompetent officials created disasters with PowerPoint presentations, Tommy built an underground network that reunited families, exposed massive fraud, and brought down a congressman. Where the gators were smarter than the guards, families fought back against systematic cruelty, and one man proved that wisdom beats authority every single time. Alligator Alcatraz, available wherever you get your podcasts.